are going to be making a breakfast hash with salmon. It's going to be full of great flavors and textures. It's a cold and warm breakfast salad. I know salads for breakfast aren't the norm, but this one came in really great. It has a lot of great dynamics, a lot of great depths of flavor. So we're gonna start off by soft boiling 2 eggs. The way that you soft boil an egg is you put the eggs in the water and bring it up to a boil, set your timer for 7 minutes. As soon as that 7-minute timer comes in, you're gonna directly put those eggs into an ice bath where you can let them sit. I'm gonna chop up a garlic, a quarter of a sweet onion. We're gonna have broccoli. I'm gonna shave some Brussels sprouts, and we're gonna cube some butternut squash. We're gonna saute all of that in a teaspoon of olive oil, and then we're gonna season it with sage, salt, and pepper. Once that is done, we're gonna lay it on a bed of bruised kale. And the way that you bruise kale is you're gonna clean the kale, take a teaspoon of olive oil, and really rub that kale down until the olive oil is not only all over the leaf, but you're gonna notice that a vibrant green is gonna come out of it. This does 2 things. One, it's going to allow the kale to absorb the flavoring of your dressing, but then it's also going to soften that kale so you're not getting that woody taste. You're gonna have like a nice sweeter flavor. Now to make the dressing, we're gonna take a quarter of a cup of blueberries. We're gonna take a tablespoon of pomegranate balsamic vinegar. We're gonna take a half of a teaspoon of turmeric, a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, quarter of a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of olive oil. Stick that in the blender, blend it all together. It's gonna give it a little bit of a thicker texture, but that's great because once we've bruised the kale, we're gonna actually wrap that kale into a half of the dressing. Once we have the kale, and then you're gonna layer on top the warm hash, I'm gonna go ahead and sear the salmon. And the way that I'm gonna do that is first I'm going to paint the salmon with pomegranate balsamic vinegar. This does 2 things. It's gonna create nice depth of flavor, but if you have somebody that's not necessarily a big fan of salmon, or they've been eating a lot of salmon and they're tired of the kind of salmony flavor, this is going to change the flavor just a little bit. It's gonna give it a little bit of sweet, a little bit of tang. Then I'm going to sear it starting out skin side down, and then I will, for 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how thick your salmon is, then I'm gonna flip it over and do another 2 to 3 minutes until it's cooked all the way through. And then I'm gonna lay that on top of the hash. I'm going to peel the eggs, cut those in half, set them on top of it. I'm gonna drizzle it with pomegranate blueberry vinaigrette. Once everything is plated, then we'll drizzle the remaining dressing on top of the dish. It serves 2 people, and it's a beautiful